All right, friends, it's T. We're back with another video. Man, back by popular demand, I guess you could call it that. The people ask me, they request that I do videos on JasonBlaha. So, yeah, we're going to do a reaction video to JasonBlaha, the gym lifting, recruiting, steroid slave himself. JasonBlaha says, high fiber intake is proven to reduce disease and improve health. Yeah, something artificial is not going to improve or it's not going to reduce disease and improve health. It creates disease and worsens your health. That's what it actually does. It does the opposite. Anything the government says, just do the opposite of what they say, especially JasonBlaha. Do the opposite of everything he says and you're going to be okay.
Fiber intake is known to be massively critical for human health. This shouldn't even be a...
How is it critical for human health if we've never eaten it before? We started eating it now, and guess what happened? We're all sick, bro. Get it? And fat. We're all fat and sick eating it. That's what we are.
Controversial statement, but apparently it is today. Hey, everybody. I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And it's really a sad state of affairs that we have a whole niche or cult inside the fitness world who are telling people that plants and fiber and everything are bad for you, and
they're not human. They're not for human consumption. Blaha. We are carnivores, so we eat meat. Now, if you want to eat something fake, well, that's up to you, and that's on you when you get sick eating it, putting these weird things in your mouth.
Anti-fiber and anti-nutrient and all of these things.
Who's anti? The plants themselves are anti-nutrient. When it goes in your pie hole there, Blaha, when it goes in your pie hole and that fat belly of yours, that's what happens. It's anti-nutrient. It's anti-everything, okay? It's toxic.
Because when you look at the data around the world, okay,
the data already shows in NCBI and PubMed that these plants are toxic, filled with oxalates, oxalic acid, and it also science tells you humans cannot digest cellulose. So what does that exactly say about science, Blaha? What does that say exactly? They're filled with sugar and toxins, and sugar is a powerful drug. They've done tests on it. They've done tests on it on rats. They've had rats with cocaine and what's it called? Opium, and they had sugar. And all the rats went for the sugar because plants are drugs, and all drugs are made from plants. Okay, Blaha?
And so you can't stand there and claim it's some big company funding all of this, which is...
We don't need to know about a big company. They did tests on it. They even had rats. They gave them sugar and some weird stuff, cellulose, these plants, and they ran around in the water. They couldn't find their way out. You want me to bring up every single thing? Do I have to do it for you because you're special? I don't have to bring up any of these. They're easy to find. They're on YouTube. They're on Google. They're on the internet, okay? They've run plenty of tests, okay? They've did enough tests, and they know what they cause. They cause metabolic disturbances, health problems, and everything else. That is the problem with everybody's health. Our teeth, the doctors, the whatever, everything. It's this, the plants. They're the cause of everything, okay?
Is again complete nonsense, and I'm not...
No, man, this guy's completely filled with nonsense. He's making this stuff because he wants to destroy you. This is the agenda that they have coming out of the background, the people that he's from. The people that he's from, they cause chaos all over the world. Now, everybody knows where JasonBlaha comes from because he's mentioned his background. Those people cause chaos in every corner of the earth on the planet. They want to destroy us and cause chaos constantly because they have nowhere to go. They have no place, no home. And they don't know what to do with themselves, okay? Other than destroy the rest of the people on the planet and cause problems for everybody. And he's the exact same psycho, doing the exact same thing.
Saying that we shouldn't think about bias, but when...
No, I try not to think about bias, but when those type of people are trying to destroy us, yeah, it's kind of biased, dude, you know? They're even in the banking system in Europe. They instigate wars on both sides. They fund both wars. And then the side that they don't like, they stop the funding to allow the other side to win. That's how it works.
You really look at it, big agriculture has no vested interest in.
Think about it. Who's really running the agriculture in the world? Who are these groups? Who are these powerful people banking? Who are these bankers that are running and funding all of this? What is their background and where do they come from? What country? What's their background? Who are these people? Think about it. They all come from the same group. Blaha is part of that group. He comes from that same group. They disturb everything on the planet.
Selling this message because they actually technically make more money growing crops for all the animals people eat. So if people are eating an all meat diet,
they want to destroy us completely. What background is Bill Gates? Does he not want to feed you some kind of cockroaches and bugs? He wants to take away meat from us carnivores, the population, 9 billion people of carnivores. He wants to take away meat from us and do what? What's his background? Where does he come from? Is he like Blaha's black background too? What about that guy that runs Facebook? He not the same background like Blaha too? They all come from the same group, and the bankers in Europe? I think they're part of all the same group, aren't they? Yeah, they want to destroy us is what they want to do.
Technically sell more food. They sell more.
Look, I'm not stupid, man, okay? I'm not stupid, all right, Blaha? I understand your people want to destroy us. I don't know why, though.
Crops.
It has something to do with something there. You guys have some kind of issue or problems.
So that is one of the most asinine arguments people could make. They're like, well, it's the companies that grow all of these grains and
Yeah, and who are these companies run by? Who are they run by exactly? See what I mean? Think about it. Who's running all of them?
soybeans and everything there. They don't want us eating all meat diets. But what do you...
Yeah, they want you to eat these crappy fake foods. Get it? Artificial foods. And they want to feed them to the cows too and corrupt them as well.
You growing the meat on? Okay. It's speculated that to grow the actual meat, every one of those cows.
Man, when you pull that curtain from behind, like in the Wizard of Oz, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see who that Wizard of Oz is. That wizard behind the curtain, who it really is. Blaha, it's Blaha behind the curtain.
Cows have to eat 7 calories from plants, from grains, actually from grains, for every calorie of meat that they produce. They're making bigger money doing that, so people can't even make that silly claim. They don't benefit.
They do benefit. They help the bankers. The bankers help them. They all benefit they all benefit from each other. It's all to steal your slave money and send you to your slave job and take your slave money and sell you slave food. Everything is made to rob you, to work. Just keep working, and then they rob you of your own work, your own money, your own work. They rob you. It's a never-ending cycle of robbery, constant robbery. You understand me? You're being robbed on every corner. You just don't know it. Especially the middle class. They're the most robbed of all people.
They don't benefit from
They support the entire system. They take the brunt of everything.
it. But I can tell you who does benefit from funding studies on the other thing are the producers of
Yeah, Blaha benefits from it, giving you false information so he could destroy you, all of you.
red meat. Okay. Now that being said, this is not an anti-meat video because I'm actually not vegan.
Yeah, we know what you are, Blaha, but you're really nuts. You're really gone.
So I want to be clear on that. I'm okay with lean animal proteins being in people's diets. I am opposed to animal fats, and that's again.
He's opposed to animal fats. It's kind of obvious. They did tests already on it, man. They even did new tests on LDL and HDL. They found even centenarians that lived over 100 years have high cholesterol. High cholesterol is associated with healthy hearts, healthy cardiovascular, healthy hormonal balance, which is the most important. Now, if you suffer from low cholesterol, you will die. And if it gets too low, you'll just die. Okay, you'll die. Now, if it gets low, you'll suffer heart attacks and you'll suffer cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, and you'll have low hormonal balance, low hormones, which will interrupt your sleep and everything and make you sick, okay, and ill. That's what happens. Yes, tests have been done, Blaha. Tests have been done.
That is a evidence-based answer. But this is looking on.
They say that the cancer that you get from plants, which is an adaptive effect. Your body's adapting because you're poisoning it with plants, and so your body starts creating cancer because that's the only way it could adapt at some point, because the cells, they stop replicating, so they start replicating cancer cells, which are how should I put it? They're resilient from the toxicity from the plants coming in, and so they start creating these cancer cells. They keep you alive. That's how it adapted. It adapted by keeping you alive a little bit longer to procreate, create a baby, and then die, because the body can no longer protect you because the poison had gotten to the point where it stopped the replication of the natural cells. Okay, so it's an adaptive thing. Can we reverse this adaptive effect? Yes. By eating meat and water, you can reverse that by cutting off the toxic plants. Once you cut them off, then the body will restore itself. It'll start replicating natural cells, and it'll get rid of the cancer cells, because it is based on an adaptation, the protective effect. That's what it is.
Look at fiber. So when fiber is looked at, just fiber intakes.
Yeah, whatever.
You have to look at the data. This is meta-analysis. This is a meta-analysis this year, 2024. Looked at 60.
Man, doctor, my arm hurts every time I do this. You know what the doctor says? Stop doing that. Doctor, I'm so sick. Here, take these pills and call me in the morning. But does the doctor ask you what you're sick from? Does he tell you where it's coming from? No, it's coming from your diet. Why would he tell you that? He's making business. Why doesn't he tell you it's coming from eating these plants, these toxic plants? Why doesn't he tell you they're toxic, that they have oxalates in them? Oh, I know, because he doesn't want to scare you. You may be getting poisoned. Is that it? Oh, he may lose a customer. You know, the moment I told my doctor I'm on meat, and he asked me, are you going to ever come and see me again? And I said, no. And then I went to a dentist about over like 2 years ago, and he says to me, hey man, are you ever going to come and see me? And I go, no. And he goes, why? Because I don't need you. That's why. I don't need a dentist. I don't need a doctor. I don't need any of you people. And he said, and then I tell them, what are you doing then? I go, I'm eating meat. They go, oh, stop doing that. It's bad for you. Don't eat meat. Eat toxic vegetables and plants, man-made foods and engineered and this and that. All the sugar and toxicity and drugs all day. Eat that. So I could be, sick? So I can come and see you? So you can steal my slave money? No thanks.
4 eligible studies. Of course, I gave all the info.
They're going to steal your slave health, your slave money, your teeth, your slave teeth, and everything else, bro. They're going to steal everything from you, you slaves out there. Yeah, man, you're a slave.
Start, you guys can go find that study if you want to see what their criteria and everything were. But when you look at it,
I can beat down every single report he brings out. I can bring out another report to completely destroy it, okay? It's in NCBI PubMed. Go look for it yourself, all right, dude?
Hey, look at the number of people involved in the studies, the 64 studies. Over 3 million people are investigated.
Yes, 3 million. Yes, they have investigated. There's many reports out there, and they're all going against you, Blaha.
Found higher consumption of total dietary fiber significantly decreased the risk of all-cause mortality.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a fabrication. It says that meat is anti-aging. There's new reports online. Meat is anti-aging because it has no sugar or toxins in it, and it is nutrient-based, and they're discovering new nutrients in meat, which they have not known before, that they're discovering now, which plants do not have any of that. Plants are not protein either. They're not protein. They are cellulose. They're fiber.
Cardiovascular related mortality, cancer related mortality by
impossible. How does it do that? You need animal fat. So your cells, they need animal fat. They need cholesterol so they can be healthy. He's lying.
22 and 26 and 22%.
I see no proof of that. I see nothing. Just something here he wrote here. There's no proof of that. Is that short term, long term? There's nothing here. This is all baloney.
Respectively. The consumption of insoluble fiber tends to be more effective than soluble fiber.
Have you ever heard that people lie? They get paid to lie.
Take in reducing the risk of total mortality and mortality due to cardiovascular disease and cancer. Additionally, dietary fiber from whole grain cereals, vegetables associated with.
How's that working for you, Blaha? You look 85 years old at 47. Me, I'm 57. I look like I'm 30. But you look 85. You have no hair. You're bald. You suffer from osteosarcopenia. You have psoriasis, which is shortening your lifespan. That skin disease down there on your legs, all over your legs there, broski. You got ear problems and metabolic diseases. And you're lifting weights at the same time. Wow. Okay. Accelerated aging. That's great.
Reduce risk of all-cause mortality, while dietary fiber and nuts and seeds reduce the risk of cardiovascular-related death by 43%. Oh man. That's also because of the healthy fats in the nuts and seeds, right?
The healthy fats in nuts and seeds. Seed oils are not healthy fats. Seed oils are for machines. They're machine oils. They don't exist in nature. They're man-made. They're engineered from these plants. They're manipulated. You would never eat them out in nature. They're not for you. And seeds are toxic. Why would you eat seeds? Birds can't even digest seeds. They eat them and then they shit them out so that we can grow trees from them. Get it? That's the whole point. You can't eat seeds. So what do? Oh, you're going to crush the seeds. You're going to make it into a powder and eat it. Well, the cyanide is still in there. How could that be healthy for you? How could this have like intake mortality, all cause, cardiovascular disease, blah, 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 whatever it is here that he's talking about. It doesn't even say anything here. How does it do that? How does it do that if it's filled with arsenic, it's filled with cyanide and toxins and lectins and oxalates and sugar and drugs and all that? How's that? How could that be healthy for you? Oh, I know that's healthy for you because Blaha said so. There's a report here, but it doesn't say that.
Polyunsaturated fats in a whole form. We're not talking about damaged ones that have been cooked in high temperatures in cooking oils.
Okay, wait. Let's read the bottom. The consumption of insoluble fiber tended to be more effective than soluble fiber. Oh, what's the difference? One is soluble, one is insoluble. Okay. Intake in reducing the risk of total mortality and mortality due to CVD and cancer. Okay. Additionally, dietary fiber from whole grain cereals and vegetables was associated with reduced risk of all-cause mortality. Okay, they keep talking about fiber. What about the cyanide and arsenic and the sugar that's in there and the lectins and stuff? What about that? Does that have anything to do with mortality or cause mortality or cancer? Do those cause cancer? I'm not talking about the fiber. I'm not talking about meat, the protein in meat. With the protein in meat, what does it do to you? The cells, the meat, the stuff that you touch it. I'm not talking about the nutrients that are in meat. What do? They make you even better. So they make you better. Okay, so what are the toxins and the sugar in here, the toxins and the cyanide and everything and whatever else? What do? Oh, they cause all those problems. Okay, this is crazy. I love this one. The vegetables was associated with reduced risk of all-cause mortality. Dietary fiber from nuts and seeds reduced the risk of CVD-related death by 43%. Yeah, okay. You want to believe the government? Since when does anybody believe anything the government says, bro?
Right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about from nuts and seeds. Okay? Extremely healthy. So yeah, you combine that with the fiber.
Extremely a lie.
Extremely healthy. So yeah, you combine that with the fiber. You're in a good place.
Extremely unhealthy, extremely fake.
And many experts have pointed it out for years. That's one of the biggest problems in the American diet is the low fiber content. That is one reason we have.
You can't digest fiber. It's nothing. There's nothing. Are they saying just the fiber? Or are they talking about all the toxins and poisons that are inside the plant, within the fiber? Well, what about that? Does that not cause mortality? Does that cause cancer? Come on, man, dude. Come on.
One of the reasons, it's not the only reason, but when you look at the processed nature of our diets, our low fiber intake directly correlates with cardiovascular disease, cancer.
Man, we are not cows. We don't eat fiber. We eat meat. We're carnivores.
And diabetes. Okay? And it has to do with the rate at which we absorb our foods. Also has to do with our gut flora and our gut health. And that's a whole nother area that we're looking at. This is just looking at what they can measure. This isn't finding all the individual causes, but gut health is probably a big part of that. We know that affects things like immune system, cognition, everything. Okay? Fiber is good for your gut health. Now, you get people who get into these who are like, well, my gut is so damaged I can't handle fibers in large amounts. Well, that's because you've eaten a really, really bad diet and damaged your body. And yes, so in that case, some of those people have to eat lower fiber diets, but they...
You ate a what diet and it damaged your body? What are you talking about, man? Have you seen the vegan compilations? They're all dying.
Introduce these things correctly over time. They can do the low FODMAP approach and introduce these things over time and eventually get their gut healed and healthy enough to eat a normal, healthy diet.
Yeah, if you stop eating fake food, then engineered fake food, yeah, definitely go back to normal.
Which is high in fiber. But again, we need to be clear on this. High fiber intake absolutely reduces all your cardiovascular risk, heart attack and stroke, reduces most forms of cancer, reduces diabetes. Also,
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's no proof of that. Prove it.
Reduces obesity. Okay?
He's making it up. There's no proof that it does that. There's no proof.
Again, we're looking for a solution for losing fat. Well, fiber in general increases the thermic effect of your food. You have to burn.
A piece of paper is not proof, man. Let me see you. Show me proof. Show me proof.
More calories to absorb it. Okay, slows digestion, slows absorption. So therefore, we get some positive responses on the insulin response and glucose response ends.
Yeah, the sugar in there, it makes you insulin resistant. It spikes insulin, makes you insulin resistant. Okay.
Because glucose is great for us. It is our primary fuel source. But
no, sugar is really bad for you. It's a drug, and it's extremely bad for you. And it is not our primary source of energy. Animal fat is our primary source, and mitochondria love animal fat. They become dysfunctional over time if you keep eating drugs called sugar. Drugs will destroy your mitochondria, eating drugs all day.
We want to keep our intake of it, the absorption rate of it controlled, right? Fiber does this.
No, drugs don't do that. They destroy you. You have to stop eating drugs.
Also lowers appetite. So again, easier to not become obese, easier to lose.
No, the drugs increase your appetite because you have a lack of nutrients, since human bodies, human cells only want nutrients. That's all they're interested in, nutrients. And when they're not getting them, you're going to keep eating those drugs. You're going to keep eating them, bro. That's what's going to happen. And it'll destroy you.
Weight when you're on a high fiber diet. Of course, then we get into all the discussion of colon cancer, all those cancers, right?
They don't exist. Colons and all these cancers, they don't exist. They only exist when you are slowly being poisoned, and the body has to rapidly adapt to protect itself. So it produces, it releases something called, it starts creating cancer cells to protect itself.
Fiber directly is correlated with reducing those, and doesn't even have to do with these other factors. It has to do with it clears stuff out. It cleans you out.
Oh, it cleans you out, all right. It's going to clean you out, all right. Destroy the shit out of you.
It's rid of old bad stuff in there that could be carcinogenic or be, rotting and decaying in certain areas.
No, human bodies are not rotten, decaying, or carcinogenic. It would never give you a disease, a human body. It's meant to keep you alive, so why would it give you any disease? Why would it do anything to you? You're doing it, and so it has to rapidly adapt. How do bodies adapt to muscle building? How does it adapt to weightlifting? How does it adapt? A unique feature of untrained muscles, they get stiff and sore due to what? Muscle damage. And then they repair and remodel stronger, and then they're resilient from further assaults. And so if they are from further assaults, they're resilient, then they don't get damaged and they don't build again. They don't repair and remodel anymore. They don't build anymore. There's no more muscle being built because it's the adaptive effect to protect you from getting damaged. You understand me? It's protecting you from getting muscle damage. And if you're not getting muscle damage, you can't build any more muscles. Get it, Borowski? Yeah, it's an adaptive effect.
That's how you clear all of that out. So again, when you have anyone out here...
No, autophagy clears all the bad things out when you're asleep at night. You understand me? And then you get up and you have a big pee, a big urination. because all the stuff is going out.
Who is on an anti-fiber bandwagon to look at the studies like this. And this has been known for decades and decades.
Oh, yeah.
Doctors have noted this. People who work with diabetics
Sure.
note this. This is well understood medically and nutritionally. But this is just an example of a modern meta-analysis looking at
This is just an example of Blaha trying to mess up everybody. Okay.
it. And this is enormous. I mean, go down and look at that one down there. 43% reduction in cardiovascular related deaths. That is massive. When you consider that in the United States, heart attack is the #1 cause of death, hands down. Cancer being number 2.
It is it? It is not the leading cause of death. Poison is the leading, it's the plants, the toxins in the plants that are the leading cause of death in America. You're poisoning yourself on a daily basis, and it causes you to die by causing these disturbances, these things, and then you die because you can't stop poisoning yourself. This is how dumb Blaha is. He doesn't even realize that poison is the cause of it. What are the cause of these? Poison. Ask any doctor, ask any scientist. Poison. The toxins from the plants are poisoning you slowly, and so as you're getting poison, it causes you to die from the poisoning. Is alcohol poison? Yes. What do you get from drinking alcohol? Oh, we get thrombosis and this and that and the fatty liver and thrombosis of the liver and yada 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 yada. People die from alcohol poisoning when they overdo it. Now, if they don't completely overdo it, but they just keep poisoning themselves slowly, eventually the alcohol will do them in with something. Who knows what?
All right? These numbers are massive. Right?
Oh, yeah.
A 10% reduction on that is actually considered impressive.
Yeah.
So let's be clear on that. So we need to put these into perspective.
Sure.
A 10% reduction is actually considered quite impressive when it comes to cardiovascular disease. But look at these numbers, way above that. So again, when you have anyone out there promoting anti-fiber, just understand that they are probably a bad person or they're crazy.
Yeah, if there's somebody promoting anti-poisoning yourself with these plant toxins, they're really crazy and they're really bad. Yes, of course.
And they do not have your best interest in mind.
Of course not. They don't have your best interest because they want to see you being poisoned so you could die early from all these problems, from cancer and everything. How great that is, yes.
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on
Thank
that today.
God.
I hope it's been informative and all.
Yeah, it's very informative not to listen to Blaha because he wants to poison you so you die. What a bastard. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that, like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next video. Ciao, man.